You know the feeling when a car tries to do it all luxury, practicality, and outright performance but ends up compromising somewhere. The 2025 Porsche Cayenne GTS does exactly the opposite. It blends the soul of a sports car with the utility of an SUV, delivering a unique package that demands attention from both your heart and your head. Let us dive deeper. Under the hood lies a thoroughly reworked twin-turbo 4.0-liter V8, now producing a robust 493 horsepower and 487 lb-ft of torque. This isn't just a minor bump compared to the older GTS, this is a substantial upgrade, 40 extra horses and improved torque giving the Cayenne GTS extra urgency and responsiveness. Paired with an 8-speed Tiptronic S automatic transmission, the result is effortless, yet explosive propulsion whether you're launching from a stoplight or carving through mountain roads. The numbers don't lie, 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 4.2 seconds, that's sports car territory, but wrapped in the comfort and size of a full-blown SUV. And when you push on, the Cayenne GTS can top out around 171 miles per hour. That's enough straight-line performance to challenge many exotic cars, but equally important, the power delivery feels smooth and controlled, not frantic, thanks to Porsche's mastery of engine and transmission tuning. But performance isn't just about straight-line speed. What sets this Cayenne GTS apart is its chassis and suspension work lifted directly from its more extreme sibling, the Turbo GT, now recalibrated for ideally balanced everyday usability. The GTS gets an adaptive air suspension system with 2-valve dampers and a 2-chamber air spring design. The ride height is lowered by 10 mm compared to standard Cayenne models. That subtle drop isn't just for show, it tightens the stance, lowers the center of gravity, and sharpens the car's responses. Steering is precise, cornering is confident, and turn-in is decisive, characteristics rare in vehicles this size. To further improve handling, the front axle gets pivot bearings from the Turbo GT, increasing negative wheel camber slightly, which helps the tires bite into corners harder and more predictably. What you get is a big SUV that doesn't feel like a boat in corners, but rather shockingly something closer to a sports sedan or even a coupe in agility. And yet, for everyday driving and long trips, it remains composed and refined. Visually, this GTS wears its intentions on its sleeve. From the outside, the design cues tell you this isn't your average Cayenne. Gloss black accents, rocker panels, window surrounds, wheel arch extensions, front fascia inlays replace the usual body color elements. The front fascia gets larger air intakes, signaling the V8 appetite for cooling air. Headlights and tail lights are tinted for a more menacing look. Standard 21-inch RS Spider wheels finished in anthracite gray wrap the car in athletic posture. The exhaust tips, once black, are now finished in a dark bronze tone, subtle, yet bold. If you opt for the coupe variant, an adaptive rear spoiler and optional centrally mounted sport exhaust further emphasize its performance DNA. That exterior signals to the world, this is serious business. Step inside, and you will find a cabin that mixes Porsche's typical focus on driver experience with luxury and practicality. Materials feel premium. Much of the interior from the roof liner to door panels, armrests, and seat centers can be trimmed in Race-Tex, a suede-like fabric that gives texture and grip but still feels upscale. The 8-way adjustable sport seats are supportive, with bolsters that hold you even when the GTS is collecting lateral G-forces on a tight turn. A heated GT Sport steering wheel comes standard. Inside the cabin you also get the latest digital instrumentation, a curved digital cluster for the driver, and on higher trims an optional passenger display. Ambient lighting and a high-quality surround sound audio system from Bose come standard, enhancing comfort and daily usability. If you want a sportier or more personalized vibe, optional GTS interior packages are offered in striking finishes like carmine red or slate gray neo. One of the impressive engineering touches often overlooked but crucial is the upgrade to the all-wheel drive system. The transfer case part of Porsche traction management now sports a separate water cooling circuit borrowed from the hardcore Turbo GT, allowing the GTS to handle sustained demanding driving, spirited back road runs or track-style driving where heat buildup could degrade performance. So what's the result of all this? Power, suspension, looks, interior refinement. The 2025 Porsche Cayenne GTS manages to be a rare beast, something that blends SUV practicality with sports car soul. It offers enough power and performance to excite, enough luxury and comfort to satisfy, and enough everyday usability to justify ownership beyond weekend blasts. But it's not perfect. For one, while the adaptive suspension helps soften the ride, when you push onto Sport or Sport Plus modes, the chassis firmness becomes obvious. Some owners on forums mention that the ride becomes stiff or harsh over poor roads, a trade-off for sharper handling and feedback. For example, one real-world driver noted that when we drive around in Sport mode, the Sport Plus mode turns up the stiffness to max, and I feel even little grooves and bumps. That means in rough city roads or long speed bumps, the GTS might feel less plush compared to more comfort-oriented SUVs, but that's part of the package if you want that spine and edge. Then there's the question of cost, both initial and long-term. The GTS sits near the top of the Cayenne range. Its base price in the US starts around $126,895 for the SUV and a bit higher for the coupe. With options sport seats, carbon, or lightweight packages, bigger wheels, premium paint or packages, costs climb fast. Maintenance, tires, and fuel for a 493 HP V8 will not be cheap. But for those willing to invest, the payoff is substantial. A blend of performance, luxury, and versatility that few other cars deliver. If I were to describe the 2025 Cayenne GTS in one line, it's Porsche's ultimate do-everything car for someone who doesn't want to compromise. It's a family SUV that can embarrass supercars at the stoplight. It's a grand tourer that also handles canyon roads like a sports sedan. It's practical enough for everyday driving, yet savage enough to satisfy the inner enthusiast. For many, that balance makes it irresistible. If you prioritize driving dynamics and performance but still need space, comfort, and flexibility, the 2025 Porsche Cayenne GTS could just be the best compromise on four wheels.